Hello everyone, I'm Fozzie or Cam, and welcome to the Everything Podcast. I'm here as always with my co-host Will. How you doing today, Will?
Doing fantastic, Cam. How about you?
I'm doing great. So today we have a really good list of things to talk about. We have the new Black Panther trailer. We have Andor and She-Hulk and some NFL stuff to cover, and then we have a few extras, which we will also talk about today. So I figured we could start off with Black Panther, since I feel like it's the biggest thing we have, and I just want to start off by saying I honestly think it was perfect. It did not give away too much. We get the basic synopsis of Atlantis will be at war with Wakanda, and that's about all I need. I got to get a good look at Ironheart, which was awesome to see. Speaking of Iron, I also want to mention the Armor Wars show has
Movie.
become a movie, which I'm thrilled about because you know how we feel about the Disney Plus shows.
Oh yeah.
Not great, but I got sidetracked there. But yeah, the Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer looks pretty good. It was a good trailer. It did not give away too much, which I think Marvel's had a bit of a tough time doing, giving a bit too much away in their trailers. And I think actually a lot of modern trailers do that too much. So I'm glad we didn't get to know too much. The movie looks outstanding. It's gonna be serious. It's gonna be real, and I am just really excited to see what they do without Chadwick as Black Panther. So, Will, how did you feel about the trailer for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever?
Yeah, I would say that of the two trailers, I would say my favorite is the first one by a bit, but I still thought that the second trailer was epic.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think this movie is going to be epic. Now, look, I've had a lot of issues with Marvel on the small screen as of late, but I have also reiterated the point many times that I don't believe this studio is having issues on the big screen as of yet.
Totally,
As
yeah,
of right
totally.
now, I am not worried because you could actually still argue that they're on an all-time great streak on the big screen.
I mean,
No
Doctor
Way
Strange
Home
and
was
Multiverse of
epic.
Madness.
Yes, No Way Home was epic. Multiverse of Madness was epic. Love and Thunder was good. And this looks to be another epic one to add to the list. So I am just so excited for this film. I think it's going to be emotional, powerful. I'm going
That's
to go
exactly what I
ahead and
want.
stand on Shuri as the new Black Panther from now on. That seems to be where they're going. And I also want to mention this, Cam. Like, the cast has been saying so much about how, like, they just wanted to, honor Chadwick Boseman, honor our brother, honor his legacy in this film. And I've been really thinking a lot how strongly everybody speaks of Chadwick Boseman and how much they wanted to honor him in this film. Not only does that speak to the great actor he was, but the great person that he must have been as well.
I totally agree, and I'm just so happy that the cast had positive things to say about him. And I'm just glad that they're really trying hard to make this movie for him, because I'm sure this is exactly what he would have wanted. I don't think he would have wanted to be recasted. I don't think he would have wanted to be CGI deep faked in, which would have been ridiculous. So I'm glad they're doing what they're doing, and they're sticking true. They're accepting he's gone. So and they're making it part of the story, which is great. I think Ryan Coogler is a brilliant director. So yeah, I'm just really excited for this film, and like you said, Marvel on the big screen has just been fantastic.
And I'll be very fascinated to see how they say that King T'Challa, aka Black Panther, died in this film because I'm really glad they haven't revealed it in the trailer. And since he's not being recast, are they just gonna like mention by word that he died fighting somebody? Are they going to like show him in a battle but without speech? How they're going to say or show how T'Challa died will be fascinating to me.
Yeah, I mean, they could easily put someone else in the Black Panther suit and show him getting killed, but that would be a bit much and a bit disrespectful.
Yeah,
So,
so maybe they'll just say
yeah.
it in words.
Yeah, I'm sure. There might be a cool scene explaining it. I don't know. It'll be really interesting. And that's another reason why I'm looking forward to this. But yeah, Andor episode 4. So, you haven't loved Andor so far, Will. I mean, I know you liked episode 3, but 1 and 2 you weren't a huge fan of. So I just want to hear what you thought of episode 4, because, yeah, I really want to hear your opinion on this, because you haven't liked two of the other episodes.
Right. Yeah. Well, I enjoyed episode 3 because it, made more sense. They established more, who the good guys were, who the bad guys were. As you said, more action packed. So I was like, okay, this is really promising. I think it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger from here. But episode 4 was just kind of a step back to me from the promise of episode 3. I mean, like, for an entire episode to have like no really action sequences per se, it's just not what I come to Star Wars for. Like, if it's gonna be like that, I would like it to at least be paid off at the end with a little bit of an action sequence. So look, I'm still holding on to hope that the show will, continue to build, because it is 12 episodes after all. But episode 4 was a step back to me from episode 3.
So I think it was obviously a bit slower than episode 3, obviously. That being said, I don't think it was a bad episode. I just think it's different than what we're used to in Star Wars, and I think a few of us, myself included, are just not sure how to adjust to this big change, because it's not what we're used to at all. And I'm not going to say I don't like it, which, that's just not true. I really do like it. I thought it was a more tame episode. Not a lot happened, but that's just how TV shows work. Some episodes, because this episode provided a lot of plot, a lot of story, which I really thought was a cool thing, and that's what TV shows need. They're not trying to make it like a movie broken apart into episodes. They're making it an actual TV show, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's 12 episodes long. So I don't mind it being a slower episode. I don't think it has hurt the show at all. I think it's fine, and I'm sure episode 5 will pick up more.
Yeah, that's just kind of what I need at this point. If you're going to force us to sit through that, well then, reward us with a big action-packed epic finale would be my ask.
Yeah, I didn't see it as I had to sit through it. I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite episode. Alright, She-Hulk. So...
Oh, boy.
Oh boy. I thought this was a better episode than we've usually had. In fact,
I would agree.
It might be the second best episode after the first one. I did not think it was awful. A few of the things made me chuckle, like the people with Abomination. Those guys made me chuckle.
I agree.
I think Abomination really helps out the show because he's just very charismatic and funny. Which I can't believe I'm saying Abomination is so charismatic and funny, because just take his character in 2008 Hulk and compare it to what it is now. Wow, was it different. But overall, solid episode. Obviously, it's still not up to par with what I'm expecting from Marvel. But yeah, it was still very interesting to see, and what her boyfriend there, well, soon to be ex-boyfriend there, did to her. That's just an awful thing. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. And we also got a cool clip with Daredevil, and since you're the huge Daredevil fan, I'll let you go in depth into that.
I liked it. I honestly, Daredevil, did have the scene that, made you chuckle in Spider-Man No Way Home, where he says, I'm a really good lawyer, but I'm just really scared that they are going to just change his character and make me not believe that it's the same Matt Murdock from his show. Because let me tell you, the show Daredevil is dark, riveting, and epic. And this show is so far from that, it's unbelievable. So I liked the scene, but I'm just really nervous overall that his character is being put into as pathetic a product as this is.
Yeah. Well, here's what I think. Well, first off, CGI was a bit wonky, which is fine because that's what I've come to expect with this stupid show. But the joke, it seemed like a joke Daredevil would make, and it didn't feel. But like I haven't finished the entire Daredevil show, and it wasn't over the top or anything. It was just a fun one-liner, and we haven't seen the whole episode yet, so I don't think we can fully judge it yet. But I thought it was okay. I really want to get more information about it, but it was fine. I also hate.
And I guess they're bringing in his villain from the comics, Leapfrog, as well. I saw that.
Interesting. That's actually very interesting.
But I will be honest. I did see like a scene I guess they put out with Leapfrog, and I thought it was just atrocious. Just the normal,
really?
just bad quality that you come to expect from this show. And that's why I'm like, why do we have to put Daredevil into as pathetic a product as this? Because, let me tell you this too, Cam. So, like, Daredevil in his show, like, you've seen all of season 1, and you see the guy who he gets, like, his suit made by. And at the end of episode 5, they're showing his, like, new mask be made by this guy who owns, like, a fancy store and stuff. And I'm like, that's not Daredevil. That's not who I would expect his character to have his new suit made by. So I thought that was just a totally out of character thing. I was not a fan of that being the guy that Daredevil would have design his new suit. I didn't buy it in any way.
I think the only reason they did it was to move the plot along and kind of connect things better. And I've also heard things that Daredevil not being in the show is the joke. And them waiting for the 8th episode, that is the joke that they're trying to make. Because, I mean, Jennifer Walters says, don't get used to this. There won't be a cameo every week. And I guess that's supposed to be a joke, not them not putting a fan-favorite character in a show, which is such a dumb joke.
Yeah. I mean, I watched an interview with Charlie Cox, and he referred to his work in She-Hulk. Like, he said, like, I haven't seen that episode yet, so it seems like he'll just be in episode 8, and then episode 9 will be maybe some more She-Hulk versus Titania, per se. But, look, all that I have to say is that if not for Daredevil and the fact that, well, look, I don't want this to go against my point that I said earlier about, me not liking at all that Daredevil is being put into a show like this. But on the other hand, if not for Daredevil, I would be so less engaged in this show. He's the only thing even remotely keeping me interested at this point.
Yeah.
Or he's the only thing that is making me want to come back week after week after week, because I don't know whether he's going to be in that episode or not. So that's the only reason that I'm even interested in this show anymore, because I hate to say it, but as, like, you used the word stupid earlier, and I know that's a really strong word, but I do think there are just, I'm sorry, Marvel, but a lot of stupid, idiotic things about this show.
I totally agree. In fact, I couldn't agree more. I think this is the worst product Marvel's ever made.
Without question. And
I don't know what they're going to do with the character. I have no clue what they're going to do with Jennifer Walters as She-Hulk after this. Because she better not be in Secret Wars, because she's not a very good character.
Here's what I would like them to do. If they're going to put her in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, have her be like the Wasp in Avengers Endgame, where it's just like super small. Like you're not really paying attention to her. That's what I would like them to do if they put her in Kang Dynasty and or Secret Wars.
But the thing is, I think the Wasp is a better character than She-Hulk.
I would agree with you on that. Yeah.
There are two things I'm interested about in this show. Like you said, Daredevil, and the fourth wall breaking. That makes me chuckle.
Allow me to say this. The only things that I'm interested in about this show are Daredevil and Wong. And I thought Wong was used horribly, and I'm scared that Daredevil is going to be used horribly as well. And that's why I just hate this show so much.
Yeah. All right. We had a week 4 of the NFL last week. Our Patriots will.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Unexpected. Very. Brian Hoyer starts out the game. Mr. Zappi.
Bailey Zappi, yeah.
Finishes
amazing.
the game. Wow. Very unexpected. Still a loss. But closer than I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, in a season like this where you don't think your team is very talented and you go down to your 3-string quarterback and you only lose by 3 points against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, you have to look at that as promising, because if you only lose by 3 points to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, that'll make me feel more confident about you being able to beat, other teams that are not on
a good team.
Yeah, that are not on the quality of the Green Bay Packers later in the season. So we'll see if this can continue, but very promising that they only lose to the Packers by 3 points. And I think that Green Bay still has a lot to prove, because they lost to the Vikings, a solid team in week 1. Week 2, they beat the Bears on Sunday Night Football. That's a game that they should win. Week 3 against Tampa Bay is down their 3 main receivers, and their offense gets completely shut out in the second half. And then week 4, they only beat the Patriots by 3 points. The Packers have some proving to do for me.
Yeah, totally, actually. I think Aaron Rodgers is still a good quarterback, obviously.
Obviously, he's a good, great, actually. Well, I really didn't like his playoff loss last year, but obviously he is a legend at the quarterback position. But Aaron Rodgers, the person, I am so out.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are.
Are you vaccinated? Yeah, I'm immunized. What a big fat lie that Aaron Rodgers spewed to the media last August. And, other things going around the NFL this past week, Cam, Tua's injury, I cannot even imagine how painful that was. Oh. I watched that. I mean, his head hit the turf so hard. I mean, thank the heavens that the NFL is doing investigations into its concussion protocol.
This is on the Dolphins.
That was absolutely horrible, and that is not the type of thing
and
that should be happening in America's favorite sport.
The NFL needs to work on their concussion protocol, I think. I mean, and the Dolphins cleared him at first way too early. He shouldn't have even been playing. So I think the Dolphins need to just check themselves. I mean,
he should not. I listened to Bill Simmons and Cousin Sal yesterday, and I agree with them. Tua should not be back until he is 120%. With something like that, a concussion,
so awful.
He should not be back on this field until he is over 100% feeling good. Don't risk anything. He's the future of your franchise. Don't risk anything.
And he's really good.
If you're the Dolphins. Yes, been actually, proving doubters wrong this season, as his team is 3-1. And as much as it pains me to say this, do you know who's also being and playing really impressively right now? Are Michael Irvin's Dallas Cowboys. 3-1. Are you buying them? What are your thoughts?
I'm impressed, I have to say. Without Dak, I'm impressed. Well, I'm going to be really honest with you.
I mean, 3-0 under Cooper Rush, I can't ignore that.
Yeah, it just shows what a solid team they have outside of Dak. And Cooper Rush hasn't been playing awful himself. In fact, he's been playing pretty good. So yeah, I'm just shocked. I did not think that this would happen at all. And I'm sure
Yeah,
you feel the same.
I mean the Eagles are 4-0. I'll pick them to win the NFC East. But look, I've got to call it when I see it. In the Cowboys, that's very impressive. I don't necessarily think they'll go on a deep playoff run, but for us to even
No, no, no.
be talking about them as a potential wild card playoff team when their
Oh, I think they're a
franchise
definite wild card
yeah, when
team.
their franchise quarterback is out and they're 3-0 under their backup, that is absolutely amazing. And Jerry Jones has said that he wants quarterback competition when Dak Prescott comes back. And look, I think they'll probably end up going with Dak, but if they continue to win under Cooper Rush, what do you do? Because you've got to give credit to the people who are playing at the level they're playing at. And Dak didn't play great in week 1, and they're 3-0 under Cooper Rush. So if this continues to go under this trend, it wouldn't be the absolute most shocking thing to me if they gave him another chance when Dak actually comes back. Do you think they could actually keep him on the field when Dak returns?
I think so. I think it's kind of like a Carson Wentz and Nick Foles situation we had.
Yeah, great point.
Um, I think. Well, we all know Dak is a really good quarterback, and he's been one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. So I don't
Yeah,
think they're gonna get rid of
yeah.
him or anything.
I don't think so either. It would just be about rewarding Cooper Rush if
Of
he continues
course.
to play at the level that he's playing at. And one more thing here, Cam. I'm just looking around, and Tampa Bay, starts off the season 2-0, but their offense has just not gotten on track recently, and their defense played their worst game on Sunday. The Packers, I need to see more from them. This is just very much looking like a year where the AFC is the more dominant conference, because I just don't see one elite team in the NFC right now. At the start of the year, you might think it was Tampa Bay, but they've gone off the rails. The Niners beat the Rams 24-9 this week, but they just lost to Denver the week before. So I just see much more elite teams in the American Football Conference than I do the National Football Conference this season, Cam.
Yeah, actually, yeah, but I mean, we
Look
thought
at like
we
the
thought Tampa.
Chiefs and the Bills, like Green Bay and Tampa Bay, they aren't beating those teams right now.
Yeah, well, we both thought Tampa Bay was gonna be a better team than they were this year. Maybe it's Tom Brady's personal problems that are hurting him.
Well, I mean, it's just their offense has not found a spark yet. Like they got, Godwin and Evans and Julio Jones back on Sunday. Well, put up 31 points, which was their most. But like every time that I watch their offense, I just don't have a ton of confidence in them to be able to make, big plays down the field. And, even though the defense, gave up 41 points, they're playing the amazing Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs, so I'll cut them a little bit of slack for that. I believe that their defense is elite, or at least very good this season, but their offense, we are 4 weeks in, and I have not seen enough to make me feel confident about them. So that is my worry when it comes to Tampa Bay right now.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. It's all good, but as I was gonna say, I do feel bad for Tom Brady, because his he loves the game, and you can't blame him for that. Uh, you really can't. So
Yeah, and I don't know if folks heard what I said before I cut off, but I just it's just Tampa Bay's defense, I believe, is elite, or at least very good. But for the first 4 weeks of this season, even this past week when they got Evans and Godwin and Jones back, I just have not seen enough, big plays down the field and sparks from this offense to make me feel confident in this team. And that's my worry with Tampa Bay right now.
yeah. So now I want to move on to our next segment where we talk about movies we've seen recently. Well, let's start off. What have you seen recently?
Yeah, well, this past weekend I saw for the second time, but it was my dad's first time, the re-release of Avatar. And as I said, like, I'm just blown away by the visuals in that film. And there are so many, I feel like, strong performances in it as well. Zoe Saldana, like, I think her voice work is actually just stunning in that movie. And I'm just very excited for Way of the Water, the sequel, this December. They have a scene from it at the end of the credits in this Avatar re-release. So,
I see. That's
yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily like the fact that like 3 sequels have been planned. I'm worried that the quality will drop off, but I think they've got enough in store for at least one good sequel with Way of the Water this December. So I'm very excited for that.
I mean,
And my dad thought it was fantastic as well.
all the technology is just so outstanding in those movies. I mean, it really is. I mean,
Yeah,
the way they film it, it's crazy because the actors are moving around. They're actually acting out the scenes. But the only thing they're capturing is their motion and audio, so that they can put it into the. I honestly don't know exactly how it works, but they wear these motion capture suits, and that's how they made Thanos in Infinity War and Endgame. They had Josh Brolin on set acting out his scenes, saying his lines, but he had this motion capture suit on, which would capture all his motion, and that's how Thanos was made. And they do the same thing for Avatar, and they're doing it with Avatar: Way of Water, except it's underwater now, because that's what James Cameron does. He gets new things invented, and then he uses them.
yeah, and allow me to just like say this. Like, I know we're in like a streaming era now, but recently I've seen, like, films like Avatar and Top Gun Maverick on the big screen. And allow me to say this, I know that we are in like a streaming small screen, TV era these days, but there are certain films like Marvel movies and Star Wars movies and Avatar, Way of the Water, and Top Gun Maverick that you have to see on the big screen in order to fully appreciate them. So I just really, really want people to see movies like that where they're meant to be seen, which is on the big screen.
That's actually what Tom Cruise is really passionate about. That's why I don't think he's ever made a movie that went directly to a streaming service.
Yeah, and when I watched his introduction to Top Gun Maverick, when I saw it on the big screen, I was thinking, boy, I bet a big motivation for him to do this introduction would be thanking people for coming to see it on the big screen where it's meant to be seen, because I can guarantee that intro won't be playing on the small screen version of Top Gun Maverick.
That's for sure.
Like it was played before the big screen version. So I think a big motivation for Tom Cruise doing that would be saying, thank you for coming to see it on the big screen, because this is where it is meant to be seen and needs to be seen.
Yeah, I think seeing movies in the theater really supports film, and
yeah, and Top Gun Maverick and Avatar on the big screen, just stunning, like amazing.
oh yeah, they're both beautiful films. But over the week, actually Monday, in the Showcase Cinemas, the movie Goodfellas was put back into theaters, and I watched it. It was great. It was so good. It was such a great film. I mean, it tells a story of a man's life, and boy, does it do that well. It was just stunning. It was beautiful. It had some of the best visuals I've ever seen in movies aside of Wes Anderson's movies. It might be my third or second favorite movie of all time. I really enjoyed it. I think Martin Scorsese is just a brilliant director.
And it's an R-rated film as well, right, Cam?
Yes, it is. But yeah, I thought it was just outstanding. It made me laugh. There were some just amazing characters in there. Joe Pesci, the standout, was fantastic. Yeah, really, really enjoyed Goodfellas.
So would you say that's more of an adult film or a film that someone like me would actually enjoy?
I don't know. I think if you're really invested into it and you really want to see these movies, then yeah, I think it would be for someone like you.
Yeah. But like something I'm very impressed with you, Cam, is your ability to, see, films like, Goodfellas and these Wes Anderson films that maybe are more inclined for like adults, but like, and maybe a bit slower pace, but you still see them and enjoy them. So that's something that I'm very impressed with you when it comes to movies, for sure.
I mean, sure, Goodfellas is a lot of talking, I guess, but I feel like it's not a slow movie. It's very intense. I mean, there are a lot of intense scenes in this movie, and they're all brilliantly done. There are some more, I wouldn't call them action scenes like we're used to, but there are like some fights in the movie, so that spices it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like we saw some good movies, and most of all, the biggest thing I want to take away from this podcast, I'm excited for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
I am stoked for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. It is going to be beautiful, emotional, action-packed, and epic all at once. I can't wait. This is not going to let us down. The genius of Ryan Coogler has been proven to me too many times for me to not think that this will not be an epic and brilliant movie.
That's for sure. Alright, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Everything Podcast. I will see you next time. And also, sorry for those technical difficulties in the middle of the episode, but I'm sure you guys can forgive us. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.